Okay, we're back with part 2 of mistakes to avoid when starting a business. This is your host, Loris the Abbott, for Business Farm Podcast, brought to you by AfricanKnowHow.com. We're going to take some questions. We have a question from Shola in DC. The question is, I chose a name for my catering business, registered it, got my LLC. Went to go buy my domain name so I could launch my website, only to find out it was already taken. I didn't think anyone would have it. What should I do now? Well, Shola, that's a tough situation to be in, but it's a very common situation. A lot of people don't do their due diligence in terms of research. You have to do research. You have to go out there, get on HostGator, get on GoDaddy, type in some domain name ideas for the business that you're trying to register, and make sure it's not already taken, because chances are that great name that you came up with, somebody else has already got the same idea, and it's just a matter of who registered it first. And that can be very disheartening. You're all excited. You've especially if you went ahead, like in this case, you went ahead and registered your LLC without even checking to see if the domain name was available. I mean, that's a tough one. So for those of you listening, you need to get online. If you have an idea, write it down. In fact, write down several names for the business in terms of the website, so that way you have a fallback option, or you have several fallback options, because chances are, like I said, somebody already has that name. People come up with very similar ideas all the time. Most of the time, it's very rare that your idea is the most unique. So it's best to plan before you go start registering anything. Make sure that domain name exists and it's available. Also, go on Facebook, because there's different facets to the business. So go on Facebook, type in that same name. See, is there a Facebook page already with that name? And if there is, you might want to reconsider and pick something else. These are all things in the name of due diligence that people need to do that they don't do, to make sure that they don't get caught up in a trademark issue, because that's another thing. You could get sued. Somebody else can have had that name, and maybe they registered it as a trademark, and then you set up your business, and then all of a sudden you get a cease and desist letter. So do your due diligence, do your research, make sure that the domain name is available, make sure it's not on the social media platforms, and you should be okay. Okay, we're back. We got a question from Zwele from Pretoria, South Africa. He says, I seem like I'm working round the clock, more than when I was doing work for other people, back when I used to work for a company. Is this normal? Is this what I should expect from now on this entrepreneurial journey? Well, first thing I'm going to tell you is, being an entrepreneur is a lifestyle, and you have to embrace that lifestyle. Not embracing that lifestyle 100% means that you will not be that successful. You will not reach your full potential. Today, being an entrepreneur is perceived as being cool. You know, you watch Shark Tank, if you're in the States, or if you're in Canada or in England, they got Dragon's Den, which is the one before Shark Tank, where they put all these business owners on a pedestal. They put all these entrepreneurs. There's billion-dollar deals. There's companies popping up like Uber and Snapchat and all these companies, and they don't tell you about the hard work. They don't tell you about saying goodbye to a major chunk of your free time and sleep. They don't tell you about the limited time you will have for your friends and family. Starting a business requires more than just, being famous, more than being on Facebook and Snapchat and having a video and a podcast. It requires you to really embrace that lifestyle that comes with the territory. What's involved in that lifestyle? Long hours. You're going to be working all the time because it's your baby. You're trying to build it. You're trying to build something. So you have to have that passion. You have to have that drive. Nobody's going to have it and give it to you. You have to have it. So be ready to put in some long hours. Be ready to be a scientist. Michael Jackson used to say how he was able to cultivate his brand was he would study everybody else, but he would study it like he was a scientist. And he said that helped him because he didn't get frustrated because he was able to just look at it from a scientific perspective. Okay, I'm experimenting. I'm constantly problem solving. This takes a lot of time. I'm going to fail here, there, everywhere. But failure means you're trying. So constant problem solving is also part and parcel of an entrepreneurial lifestyle. You're going to have to put a lot of your hobbies and personal interests on pause. You're going to have to make doing a business your top priority in life. So, Zwele, get used to the grind because that's what it's going to be. Work, 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 work. You want to build a business, you want to be the next big thing, you want to build your dream instead of building somebody else's dream, you better be prepared to grind, work hard. Anything that you want to be good at, you can't just do it part-time. You have to live it. So get ready to live that entrepreneurial lifestyle. That's just the way it's going to be. So good luck. Get out there and grind. To get your questions answered on Business Forum, go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/African Know-How. Click on message. You see the little message icon in the corner. And give us your name, what city and country you're in, and your question. Make sure to title it Business Forum. Business Farm was brought to you today by Visit Africa. If you're thinking about doing business in Africa, it might be a good idea to take a trip out there first. So, learn more about Africa, facebook.com/Let's Travel to Africa. And see you next time on our next podcast.